Okay, two things I forgot to mention. One is the fact that the rotator controller software has got a debug window through which you can monitor what is happening. Look, as of now, the rotator is in standalone mode. So once I connect the USB cable to it, the computer will be able to access its setting. So look, it restarts once you connect to the computer. And let me show you what you can do with the computer. Now, once it is connected, you have a serial monitor through which you can monitor what is happening in the computer, in the controller. If you see, notice there are two LEDs here which blinks when there is some traffic down the serial port. And you have a lot of commands you can send via the serial port, which is of course the standard Yasu GS32 protocol defined commands. In fact, you have a quick start guide written right into the code. In fact, this is where you do all the calibration setting also. Your calibration settings are stored directly into the EEPROM. So what you do is when you start when you first try to configure the rotator, you rotate the rotator fully clockwise and reach 0 degrees, and then make the controller record that voltage which is available in the pot, and then rotate completely clockwise and reach 360 degrees, and then record that, so that the controller knows what are the voltages which are available, and it will map it to various degrees. It does all the calculation inside, and whenever you change geometry or you do some modification, you do some changes to the alignment, this you'll have to do, which is there in any controller. So that is where every controller has got a calibrate control, which is either brought out through the front panel or is hidden away in the back panel. Okay? And you can also send basic commands like L for left rotate, R for right rotate, A or S for stopping, C for what is the current azimuth settings. But I'll show you that. And you also have a debug window, which you can change it to debug mode. So it keeps the controller keeps sending debug messages to the computer, which you can monitor. You can also turn it off by again unsetting it. Okay, and you can make it turn. Let's try one of the commands. All the commands are sent in capitals. So I've said rotate, I've not said where to, so it will keep rotating till it reaches the limit. It will be rotating, R rotates it clockwise. Okay. And I can stop it by sending A. Okay. And I can make it go to a particular bearing by using M, that is manual rotation 2, followed by whatever settings. They say M180 will rotate it to 180 degrees. Okay, now I've set it. Now let's watch what it is doing. It is rotating to 180 degrees. It's pretty close by, so it rotated for less time. Let's rotate it to say 25 degrees. So it will rotate back. Oops, what's happening? 25. That is the current position. Occasionally this happens, so what I do is I have to turn it off, or when this happens, I just pull out the USB cable and put it back in. One of the quirks, probably some loose connection somewhere, so all that has to be faced during the development phase, I guess. Anyway, let's see whether, yeah, okay, we're back in business, I guess. Okay, so let's say M25. Still not going to M25. Let's say L. Probably that's not the right command. Yet to figure out all those small stuff. Ham-Ready Deluxe and all the standard software which talk with the rotator does send commands using one of the standard protocols, and these are the commands which will be sent by the computer. Assuming you're using, assuming you built a Azel rotator and you built this controller, and you're using this to control your azimuth elevation, your UHF VHF dual band Yagi for satellite working. This is the protocol which will be used typically. Okay. M225. It goes to M225. Okay, so probably I should say M025. Let's see. It's still rotating, so let me let it stop. Okay, it's wrong now. Yeah. So I guess it is just a question of wrong syntax. I should have used M025 to go to 25 degrees. Now you can see it rotate in the reverse direction. And while it rotates, this is the transformer which I am using to power the motor. Unfortunately, I have not bothered to all the AC rotators, AC motor rotators use a capacitor also. It's a non-polarized electrolytic capacitor. Now I didn't have time to buy it, so I just connected my existing rotator controller wiring in parallel to this, and that has got the electrolytic capacitor, so that is being used. Unfortunately, this controller has got was abused very heavily, and the transformer is blown, so that is the only casualty. I also tried using a lot of toy stuff for coupling. I used the dead toys, so I can boldly say no toys were harmed during the production of this rotator controller. Thank you, 7 threes, and have a great day.